Welcome to day 4 of our daily Bible devotions. Yesterday, I shared a very intimate but very important part of my life, pondering about those questions about love. It's important. I did not want to engage in it, at least in the romantic sense, because I know that love is so much bigger. But even though I did not want to engage in it, I know I had to deal with the questions head on. I could not wait until I have to deal with it, and then that's the only time that I will think about it. No, before I go into that, before that happens, I have to think about it because that's what I learned in chess. In chess, when you play chess, you have to think of the moves that you will make before you even make them. So that's what I was thinking. I will engage in it in the future. Now I have to think about these questions. That's the wise thing to do. And I searched for answers in science, but I couldn't find any. For example, when I was in fourth year high school, grade 10, whenever someone would ask me, how do you define love? I would always say that love is sacrificing yourself for someone. That's what I know love is. Love is sacrifice. Yes, but why do you have to sacrifice to express love? Biology taught me that I have this survival instinct. I need to protect myself. But if I put myself, my own life, at risk for the sake of someone, why is that love? Why do I have to do that? And I can't reconcile those things. And but I kept on asking those questions because I had to. I had to think about those things. And there came to a point in my life when I would wake up in the morning and then I would ask, what is the meaning of life? Why do I have to wake up? There's another day again. I have to wake up, do things. But what is the meaning of all this? Why do I have to engage in these things? And then if you think about it, how do you really find meaning in this world? What do we do with things like love, care, hope? How do we explain them? What do we do with things like relationships? Because we are engaged in relationships with our parents, with our friends, with our neighbors, and in the future there will be romantic relationships. What do we do with that? What do we do with things like honor and trust? Back when I was elementary, I learned about patriotism, this deep love for your country, for your people, and I had that. But how do I explain that? Why would I give up myself for my country? My survival instinct goes against that. Survival instinct cannot explain honor, trust, and sacrifice for the country. How do we find meaning in a life where we just find individual particular meanings but no ultimate meaning, no grand explanation for life itself? Now, when I entered the university, I started exploring philosophy. I shifted from science to philosophy. I thought at first it was a natural until history taught me that science was not called science before. Science used to be called natural philosophy. Yes. In fact, science employs philosophy and logic. I remember back in the university, one of the most difficult things to do in math is not just compute based on the formula. Proving is one of the most difficult things I did in math. And whenever you prove in math, actually in all of mathematics, you need logic. In science, you also need philosophy. So when I went to philosophy, I thought it was a natural, but actually it was very natural for me to shift from science to philosophy because the limits of science, the things, the metaphysical things that cannot be explained by science goes into the scope of philosophy. So I explored philosophy. But as I learned from the university, in philosophy, questions are more important than answers. So my scientific curiosity cannot leave my questions unanswered, but my philosophical wings, philosophical tools cannot be grounded by the limits of science. I found only one way to satisfy the longing of both science and philosophy without sacrificing one or the other. And I will tell you about that.